Hey guys, Chip here. So many of you may have seen this recently release of the bend modifier by Mark Kingsnorth. Mark is a good friend. He's actually the guy that does most of the work on kit ops currently. And he's a real smart guy. He created this modifier that you can actually go into Blender and you can add the modifier and you can bend objects in a real easy to understand way. Now, the issue with this is that if you add the modifier, I'm going to go here and say, go under deform, bend, and add a modifier. Let's just do it on the Y direction, or actually let's do the X direction. When you modify, let's type 90 in here. You're just not going to get a good bend here. So if I look at this, there's not enough geometry. Now, one way of fixing this is you can add a subdivision surface right before this, right? So if you grab this and put this up here, you can kind of fix it by doing this and going to simple. But then you got to jack this up and you start to end up getting quite a few more polygons and you're still not getting a great resolution. You have to really go high to get a resolution because you're subdividing everything. If we turn off optimal, you see that we're subdividing all this stuff and it's not a particularly clean subdivision. So let's go ahead and turn this off and take a look at this new modifier we've just created. It's called a slice modifier. I'm going to move it above the bend modifier. You can see it has the same settings as the bend modifier. So it kind of works together. Let's go back to X here and show you what I'm talking about. So now we've got 6. Let's just go ahead and say, let's do 20. And we're going to do 20 slices here. Now, because of the way geometry nodes works and this modifier works, it's a pretty computationally intensive. And that's the reason why we have this show cage button. We can actually set up the bend direction, how much we want to bend before, before we actually apply it. So if I hit this show cage button, now we're still going to be non-destructive, but now you'll see that we have a pretty good bend. And if I want to, I could maybe jack this up to 40, give it a little more resolution here, and you get an idea, see how tight that is. And that's just basically bending it. It's a good tool. If you have the bend modifier, it's a good tool to use. You can also use this again, if you want to use a curve modifier. So let me show you what I'm talking about there. So let's go back into the show cage thing and get rid of this and set this to the Y direction like this and say, Shift A, and we'll do curve, and we're going to add just add a Bezier here and do this scale, play, all transform. As you can tell, if I take this object and hide this, and I want it to add a curve modifier to it, we say the object that we're going to modify here. Now, we're not getting enough detail to curve it much, right? As you can tell. And if I want, I can move this around, move it up and down. But if I add the slice modifier on there, you'll see that we have the curve modifier is working the way it should, except we should be at probably X, not Y, because we rotated this curve. Let's go ahead and put it back to X. You can see that we can now adjust this curve modifier how we want to. It's kind of nice because it is non-destructive. Now we also have our slice it, bend it tool, which actually does even more, but this is destructive, right? So this is non-destructive. I can always turn off this slice tool right here and get back to what we originally had. Whereas the slice it, bend tool has the ability to, basically have multiple axes, X, Y, and Z and stuff like that. So you can do all kinds of stuff in this. Like if I say, let's just do X, Y, and we'll say 10 slices, select this, show the wireframe and slice it. Let's do 30 and slice it. So you see that's what that does. And the bend modifier works the way you would expect it to. It can move a lot faster because it's already burned it once. Another thing is that you can also bake this bend once we have this done. So that's the slice it, bend it tool. But the new slice modifier is an interesting one to take a look at. So look for it on Blender Market and on Gumroad. See ya. Bye.